This week on MUZoHub, we learn all about mixed nuts. Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of MUZoHub. I'd like to thank everybody for the support we've had so far. I noticed last week's episode had almost double the views on YouTube, so that's fantastic for the support and the good comments we're getting. And don't forget, if you've got ideas for any shows or content or people to interview, contact us at info@MUZoHub.tv. Now, there's also, before we start, there's two new shows coming to MUZoHub, and they're from suggestions you guys have put forward. And the first of those is going to be called Muzo Tech, going with the Muzo theme all the way through. And this will be about all the technical side of music, setting up PAs, all about chords, cables, and music chords maybe too, even that sort of thing. Reviews of the latest equipment and anything you've ever wanted to know that you didn't know on the technical side of being a muso. And the other news show is going to be called Muzo Biz, and that, as the name probably suggests, is all about how all the business side of being a muso or being in a band, dealing with clients, each other, the legal aspects of being in a band, and yeah, all that sort of thing. So we've got a potential new host for that one, and I'm looking at an assistant host for the Muzo Tech. Anyway, that's enough of the housekeeping. On to the business at hand this week, and as always, we have a guest with us. And this week, we have a very special guest, and that's Mr. Albert Skipper, known as Skip.
G'day, John.
Yeah. How are you, mate?
Good. Really good.
Skip's well known to everybody in Central Victoria, and I suppose the way I know you mainly is just your passion and dedication to music and to the people that play music and assisting people. And I think it's just fantastic the job you're doing around town.
Thank you.
With your new little business. What I'd like to start with, though, Skip, is where did this all start from? What did you? When was your first? Have you always had music in your blood, bones, sort of thing, or did it start with parents, or where did it all come from?
My music history summed up in a very short period. My music history does start with my parents.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of nights sitting around with. I come from a very big family, New Zealanders, you know.
Yeah.
It's it's my mum and dad were influenced me the most. My mum would play guitar, very simple, open tuning sort of guitar on a banged up old nylon string thing, and Dad would sing, and they'd sing together, and then the whole family would sing. So it's just one of those things as a kid, and that islander sort of music, you know. So it's always been there.
Yeah.
And I think after that, my mother and father both sort of saw that how interested I was in it, and basically they bought me a drum kit.
Okay.
That was my first instrument.
Yeah.
And so they turned up with this drum kit one day. I came home from school, and and wow, that just set me off.
Yeah.
So like every kid, I had this drum kit set up in a room, and and I think I had Akadaka playing in the background and trying to get those solid beats,
Yeah.
and that was basically the starting of.
And what age group? What age roughly?
I think I was around about, when it started getting the drums, around about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much, and it just continued on from there. And then I got into high school and joined my first band.
Okay. Yep.
with one guy, Martin Jenner, who's still one of my friends now and plays in a local band in Bendigo. Him and another guy called Mark Hendricks.
Uh-huh.
And
Right, he had the right surname.
yeah, he did. He was the bass player, and we started underage. We started playing pubs and stuff like that.
Excellent.
So typical pub rock
Yeah.
sort of cover band.
Yeah.
Then do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
I'll
yeah,
keep going.
While you're on the roll.
So yeah, while I'm on a roll, so I started to go and do Battle of the Bands and all those sorts of things, and that was great. I think our greatest highlight was winning the Castlemaine Battle of the Bands at some oval or something like that. Martin Jenner was probably another big influence to me because he was just at the time he was so talented.
Mm-hmm.
He's talented now,
Mm-hmm.
but at such a young age he could play the keys and he could play the guitar, and I think our greatest song that we played was Sultans of Swing. And we played that so well, and it's probably not so technical now, but it was something about it that's just sort of like showed highlighted what we could do as a band.
I'm just having a look at some photos rolling through here.
Oh.
I noticed the name Ethanol.
Yeah.
That was a big name around Bendigo for, 10 years or something?
It was, yeah. And look, that's a big part of my life, Ethanol.
Mm-hmm.
We did some amazing shows and, played all over the place.
Yeah.
Sort of considered a bit of a underground band that sort of made it but never really made it.
Yeah.
Everyone knew who we were, so we just never really sort of had that massive breakthrough. But yeah, we did some amazing festivals, and so no regrets about it.
Yeah.
Okay, but as you get older, I guess you move on from that sort of thing.
Just diverting a little bit, but onto your current project, Skip. What's so post ethanol and that you
Post ethanol.
Yeah.
You talk okay? We're talking bands here still.
No, well, this is more of your
right. So
your business, I suppose.
My business. So I run a music school these days. So ethanol basically came to a halt, and I ended up working in pubs, and at the end of the day, I sort of not really me.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of got tired of the drunks and all those sorts of things.
That's the scene,
The scene. Yeah. And I just decided I really wanted to do something for myself. People I've always worked for have been nice and lovely and looked after me. But I just got stagnant. So I rang up a good friend of mine, Mr. Ben Gibbons, and I said, mate, what's this teaching business all about? How do I get involved in this? And he said to me, mate, you can, with the experience, and this is the way I got out of it. He goes, the experience that you've got, you can't buy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And if you can teach that to kids or adults or whatever.
Yeah, if you can just impart what you've got,
knowledge.
That's the big thing, isn't being able to actually, you can have the knowledge, but being able to actually put it across to someone else. Yeah.
So I had this idea of going out and opening up my own music school, and I used to travel from house to house.
Yeah.
I went and got registered, got my work in with children and all that sort of stuff. And I travelled from house to house, and that was cool. And I wanted more, and I ended up finding a venue where I could hopefully grow from there, and it's taken a lot of work. But my theory or my motto for music was, and it's pretty much the way I learnt music, was bugger all theory and a lot more rocking. Okay.
I see that's the actual motto.
Pretty much. I learnt music is get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you now, I can't read a note.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, I've got great ears.
Yeah.
And I've just been listening to music all my life. So that's what I know, and that's what I want to teach, is that you don't need to get into the... I'm not saying don't learn how to read, because if you do, it's an advantage. It's great, right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But for those who, get a little bit bored and want to just pick up a guitar, there was so many people out there that just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And just almost shortcut, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I found a way to. I'm a great believer in making things simple.
Yep.
In music, and simple can be such a great thing. Like a drummer, you don't need to get fancy. You just need to keep it solid.
Yeah.
And that's my thing.
Yeah.
Some people may think differently.
Yeah.
And the same with guitar. And people used to say to me, like, "Gee, Skip, you can play guitar." Well, I can't. Right? I keep it simple.
Yeah.
I let my singing do all the talking.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be a great guitarist. I could claim to be a solid guitarist,
Yeah.
but that's about it. It's not my strong thing.
Yeah.
So that was the thing I wanted to put across to the kids, that anybody can do this.
Yeah.
Kids, adults, whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow I got involved in working with. Well, it started out with one student. A local counsellor rang me, who sent me a client of hers that had severe depression.
Okay. Yep.
And I'd never dealt with that side of things before. And it really sort of, once I met this person, and they were really down and out. But that thing of getting them to sing and getting them to enjoy music really sort of dragged them out of a hole.
Excellent. Yeah.
And they've just gone forward now.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, music really is for everyone.
It's medicine.
It's a massive medicine. And so then that sort of snowballed again, and then I started getting to working in the disability field.
Okay. Yep.
And I wanted to know if I could. It was always, I like challenging myself. So if I'm not out, if I'm not out rocking on a stage, I want to see what I can do with people that don't have the advantages of getting on stage. So the disabilities was a thing I decided to have a go at, and I ended up with a group of 6 guys. And they were fantastic. And some of these guys can't speak at all.
Yeah.
Literally, their disability is pretty severe. And so just getting to say a couple of words while I'm playing guitar, So I'd sit down and I'd work out, I'd strum, I'd do it. It's all repetitiveness. So I'd play something over and over and over again and over, and I'd sing to them, and they'd listen to me, and then all of a sudden, somebody would just say one word that fell in exactly the same time as when I was singing.
Yeah.
And I went, what? There it is.
There's something there.
Something's happened.
Yeah.
Something's amazing's happened.
Yeah.
And then I play it again, and then they'd sing another word. It's not the whole song. And so it sort of just, once again, that it just made things grow even more for me and for people like that. And those guys come and see me every week.
Yeah, excellent.
And it's just their little bit of, is it normality? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just that thing that makes them feel good.
That contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the mixed nuts.
The mixed nuts, right? We'll go into the mixed nuts now, because I've got a little bit of vision of the mixed nuts, so we might play a bit of that.
Sure.
Courtesy of Mr. Rob Parsons. So
Yep.
I play a little bit of that while you have a chat about it. Hopefully the audio's low enough so we can talk over the top of it. But if you take us through a bit.
Absolutely. So this is 7 guys that I was hired to teach them how to play instruments and form a band and go and do a gig. So they've got disabilities that are, of different varieties, Asperger's, all those sorts of things. They don't get a lot of opportunities, but they came to me, and it was pretty much, you just bonded straight away. You could see that, it started out with one chord.
Yeah.
They started out with playing the D chord, and it just, it was something magic about it. And they joined me every week. And so we set a goal of 8 weeks to form a band and go and play a gig at the Newmarket Hotel. had all their families were there, you know, and they came up to me and said they've never their lives they've changed so much. They're just happy and they're more positive about themselves.
Okay. And so is this an ongoing thing with them? Are they
Yeah,
going to stick
look,
together?
that was probably the other challenge is that I didn't want it to end. So I had to speak to the people that were employing me to take this on board, to say, well, look, we can't let this stop.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, you know, we stop.
Yeah,
We're just going straight back to the
I was
start
going to say
again.
you've gone from there up to there, and then
I
they'll just
can't
drop back
build
down.
these guys up and let them go.
Yeah.
And so I made a promise to them that I would not ever give up on them, you know.
Yeah.
But now they got to the point of, do we really need you, Skip?
Rock stars.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want from them, you know, is
Yeah.
that they're positive enough to think that they can go and do it themselves. And that was always going to be the goal.
Yeah, excellent.
To just always strive for something, be positive about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's pretty much the Mixed Nuts.
And you've got a new project, a sort of spin-off from this happening, have you?
I do have a new project. So now this has been a success, and these guys are going to get going. I've been approached to do an all-girl band.
Okay, yeah.
Which I've been told might be a little bit harder.
A bit more challenging?
A bit more challenging.
Yeah.
The disabilities might be a little bit more extreme. We're not. I haven't. Haven't met the girls yet, but I'm really looking forward to that one.
Excellent, yeah.
And
all your hard work there you've put in, it's really proving its worth, and as well as performing, enjoying yourself, I'm sure there's a lot of other people enjoying your work.
I'm back performing again myself, so I'm really.
I was going to ask you about that. Have you got a band together?
I
at the
do.
moment,
I've got a band called the Lost Heart Sirens.
Okay.
I actually don't like the word I've got a band. It's our band. It's one of those things. But thankfully for the Colin and the Blues Festival inspired me. One of the things to get back into it again. I found time. I've worked hard, and now things are sort of backing off a little bit. But I'm working with. I met a lovely girl called Lauren Jennings.
Okay.
Who plays cello. And it was basically we just had this connection. And so we've been out. We started out as a duo. Had our debut pre-Blues Festival. Now I've got Josh DeRusha and Shaw McIntosh in the band as well.
Okay,
So it's pretty full on, and we're sort of snowballing, gaining some momentum, and really sort of making a name for ourselves. And the band's based around the sound of a cello.
Cello, which would be rather unusual, would it, for to have a cello with the other instruments you've got?
Absolutely. It's not something I thought I'd ever work with. It just sort of popped in my head and said, "Hey, you play cello. Shall we get together and have a jam?" And so a lot of our songs are sort of based around love and heartbreak and the comedy of love and all those sorts of things.
So obviously all originals.
All original.
All originals.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And we've got a bit of a special treat tonight too. Where Skip's actually going to play a song live. So I was wondering if you could. I don't even know what the song's called yet. Can you introduce it, Skip? What it's going to be? Or?
Absolutely. The song's called Pirates and Lovers.
Okay, original?
It is original.
Okay. Any story behind this particularly?
Look, it's a song that's sort of it's a really simple song, but I had this thing about I don't know. I always got to sing about pirates being out in the sea, and just it's basically a song about love at sea. A sailor, pirate, been away for so long, yearning for the love of his lady back at home.
Okay.
You know, and they're both sort of reaching out to each other. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I might get you to disconnect your mic there and jump over on the stool over there while you can get that guitar ready, and we'll wind the show up. So, thanks again, as I said, to everybody for their support, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button there, because that helps us with our getting our numbers up and getting some other features added on YouTube. So anyway, thanks for all your support, and we'll catch you next week. Might even have a very young, newly formed band in next week to have a chat to. But here we go. Here's Skip with his song about pirates. See you next week.
If you'd like to stay connected with MUZoHub, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.